Well, the time is just gone 10 minutes past 4, and we're going across now to be joined by UK based journalist Dr. Yvonne Ridley. Dr. Yvonne Ridley, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. And Ramadan Kareem to you. Wonderful you're able to join us.
Walaikum salam and Ramadan Kareem to you and all of your listeners around the world. These are very, very challenging times for us all. And I have to say that most of my friends are really struggling this Ramadan. It is a time for reflection, personal reflection, and looking back, as well as looking to the future. And the whole point of fasting is though that, we learn to appreciate our food and all the gifts that Allah gives us. But I have to say, every day when I have come to break my fast, I look at the food and, alhamdulillah, it's there. But I think of our brothers and sisters in Palestine, and I can't help it. And I just wonder what their fast is like. Do they even have a date to break their fast? And it's a very, very challenging time, which has really left us all feeling so helpless, and that all that is left for us to do is make dua, to march, to petition, whatever we can to stop this genocide. And we should call it that. And I'm full of admiration to South Africa, which is really leading the way on the terrible crimes that are unfolding in Gaza. Even now, as we speak, I'm told that there's about 70 Palestinians have been killed in a refugee camp. Some of them have been beheaded. The Israeli forces are absolute savages, and anyone who is supporting this genocidal entity should hang their heads in shame. I never thought in the 21st century I would be seeing skeletal images of babies that could have come out of the camps of Auschwitz or Belsen because they are so malnourished. And I am at a loss as to trying to understand the mentality of some Israelis. Not all, because, there are many out there like us who are saying this is not in our name. We don't want this war. And, they're being incredibly brave as well by marching in Tel Aviv to try and make Netanyahu stop. But as I say, at the moment, the only beacons of humanity in the world are coming from South Africa and Ireland.
Yes, in fact, I'd like to talk about Ireland because this is specifically what would like to understand the intervention on behalf of Ireland. And it is clear, and also the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Defense, Michael Martin, made it very, very clear, saying analysis and consultation has now concluded. Ireland will be intervening. And let's just talk about this intervention, Dr. Yvonne. In what form and what is actually expected, and why? Why would Ireland be intervening right now?
Well, the Irish Foreign Minister Michael Martin says events in Gaza represent the blatant violation of international humanitarian law. And he has said that Ireland will intervene in South Africa's genocide case against Israel. And this is the strongest signal so far that there is at least one country in Europe that is really concerned from a humanitarian aspect about the war in Gaza. Britain is concerned because it doesn't want to become complicit in a genocide. That's the only concern Britain is holding. It couldn't care less about the 30-odd thousand Palestinians who've paid the blood price, most of them women and children. So, you know, when Britain says it's concerned because it's thinking, what does this mean for us? Because we've been supporting these genocidal maniacs in Tel Aviv. And, you know, it's up to the International Court of Justice to decide whether genocide was being committed. And this is, it is quite clear that genocide is being committed. There's no other word for it. When an entire population is being denied food, water, aid, power, energy, shelter, safety, it is incumbent upon the occupiers, i.e. Israel, to care for the welfare of the Palestinian people. And this is clearly not happening. And can we prove it? Yes. Just go onto Twitter or whatever it's called now. Go onto Facebook, go onto Instagram, go on to TikTok, because these Israeli soldiers are making videos boasting how they've destroyed humanitarian aid, how they have bombed refugee camps. They're boasting on the social networks about the massacres that they have carried out. And so the evidence, you don't need the greatest legal mind in the world to produce the evidence. I could produce the evidence. My mother could. Anybody who tunes into Al Jazeera could produce the evidence of genocide. Sorry, if I sound emotional, it's because I am so angry. And
I can hear it. In fact, I can hear it very, very clearly. I can hear it very, very clearly. And I think all of us feel exactly the same. And obviously, you don't need to apologize for that. You know, this is what everyone is feeling. We've got mixed feelings, sadness, anger, bitterness. You know, there's just so many emotions that one actually could go through. Dr. Yvonne, we're going to go for a quick break, an ad break. So I'm going to put you on hold and you can catch your breath and we'll be back.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Fulfill your zakat conveniently with Ashraful Aid. This Ramadan, let's make your zakat count. Ashraful Aid's zakat distribution is carefully overseen by external boards which ensures transparency and trust. Make a difference to those who really need it. Join us today to spread hope and compassion to those who need it most. Visit our website at www.ashrafulaid.org.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042 203 1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
From samosas and half moons to cook sisters and roti, everything between iftar and sehri makes sunfoil cooking oil an essential part of your Ramadan. Approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a healthy diet, this blessed month, give your family the best with sunfoil, because tradition just tastes better.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists, with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic, Sharia, and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings, from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
Food with love. Zakat makes it possible to establish the things that matter. It sets the foundation right for the family around the dinner table, the mothers who carry the heavy load, the children who want to play. Zakat is not just money. It is the reason why so many across the world are smiling before they sleep. Your zakat helps us continue to serve with love, with hope, because with you, we can. Give your zakat to Penny Appeal South Africa today. www.pennyappeal.org.za. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference. You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
Well, the time has just gone 23 minutes past 4 as we continue with our broadcast on the Iftar Drive this afternoon right here on Salam Media. And we are talking with UK-based journalist Dr. Yvonne Ridley. We're talking about Ireland, and Ireland has made it very, very clear of its intention to intervene and support South Africa in this with regard to the ICJ and also in terms of the Genocide Convention. Now, Dr. Yvonne, let's just talk a bit about Ireland. And we know that Michael Martin has made it very, very clear that it's not about taking a specific side in the dispute, because we know we've seen in the just this last week, the UN Security Council finally passing a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire. We know it's not happening. Israel, obviously, a law unto itself. But again, these third-party interventions like South Africa did, like Ireland wants to intervene, these are absolutely important. These are crucial because when one looks at it from a UN perspective, the Security Council is still very, very important. We've seen so many resolutions that were vetoed, and then finally we had this one that came through, and the the United States had abstained. So this is where countries like Ireland, like South Africa, and I'm sure there are many other countries around the world who could actually follow the similar path or do a similar thing that both Ireland and South Africa are doing.
Well, nobody knows the pain of genocide more than Ireland and its people. And I'm talking about events that happened about 3-4 generations ago, the potato famine, in which more than 1 million Irish people starved to death on Britain's watch, and up to 2 million left Ireland to live overseas and try and find a better life. And the pain of the potato famine, which was man-made, like the Gaza genocide, the pain of the potato famine is still very raw in Ireland. And you just have to delve back a few decades into Ireland's history to see the evil hands of colonialism and imperialism at play. And this is why the Gaza starvation has stirred so many deep feelings with the Irish people and their politicians. Leo Varadkar, the outgoing prime minister, I mean, he left so suddenly, but before he left office, he told Joe Biden about, or reminded him about Ireland's history. And he said, you have to see Gaza through our eyes. And it's, as I say, it's all too raw and painful for them. So, but the Irish, like the South Africans, have been absolutely outstanding in their service to humanity. And I guess it is quite tough, because you're not just standing up to this vicious, nasty little entity in the Middle East. You're standing up to its friends, including the Americans, who don't take kindly to being exposed on the world stage as supporters of genocide, which is what South Africa has essentially done to America. And it's an incredibly brave thing to do. And, you know, I just hope that there isn't going to be consequences for South Africa by America, because we know it as a country that is petulant and spiteful. We saw that in Afghanistan, when it allowed children to starve there. And this is the trouble with what is unfolding in Israel. There is nothing Israel has done so far that Britain and America hasn't already done somewhere else in the world today. The bombing of Dresden during the Second World War by Britain, which killed 15,000 innocent civilians in a totally civilian area. And in fact, the Israelis, when they were carpet bombing Gaza and killing so many innocents, they actually said, oh, stop criticizing. You did this in Dresden in the Second World War. And of course, when you lower the bar of moral principles, you don't just lower it for your own convenience. It is then picked up by others. And I'm just waiting for something awful to happen again in Ukraine, and Putin will turn around and say, we're just doing what your friends, the Israelis, are doing. You know, it's the moral compass of the West is just spinning round and round aimlessly. And, you know, thank God for South Africa and Ireland. The Arab
Well,
world.
Dr. Yvonne, you know, I was going to come to the Arab world, but okay, continue.
Well, just the Arab world has been disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. We know that Egypt is always very keen to uphold the siege, to keep people in Gaza trapped. The UAE are the big sponsors of Egypt, and they have normalized relations with Israel. Saudi will eventually normalize relations with Israel. And this is what I can't understand. You know, MBS could be rehabilitated overnight in the eyes of the Muslim world if he just stood up and said, stop. If he called for a ceasefire, Biden would jump and they would get a ceasefire. You know, that this, I think the sham of this latest ceasefire through Article 6 of the UN has exposed America and its allies, because they all knew that if they went through Chapter 6, then a ceasefire wouldn't be legally binding. If they'd gone through Chapter 7 of the UN's ceasefire protocols, the ceasefire would then have been legally binding, and it would have forced the UN to take military action on Israel. But they played us all. They played us all for fools by saying, oh, we're going to have a UN resolution. We're going to call for a ceasefire. And then they went through this Chapter 6, which, of course, completely neutered this ceasefire. And as a result, babies and women are still dying today.
Well, definitely. In fact, it's actually very, very sad. And we were actually hoping, that the month of Ramadan, there would be some sort of relief or some sort of respite. But it is clear that, we're already into the third week of Ramadan. In fact, the situation has just got even worse, Dr. Yvonne. And as you mentioned, when we sit down and when we're breaking our fast, when we sit at that iftar table, all these thoughts actually cross our minds. What are the people of Gaza doing? I mean, even when we're praying, when we're performing salah in the mosque, these are people out in the rubble, in congregation. We've seen a lot of videos as well, not knowing when the next bomb is going to fall, but this here fall on them. And this is exactly what they're going through. And as you also mentioned, we need to continue regardless. We need to continue raising our voices. We need to continue with our protests, continue making dua as well. And as always, Dr. Yvonne, we thank you. We appreciate, you taking time out, talking to us here at Salam Media, and keep up the good work on your side as well. And we wish you all the best, inshallah, for the month of Ramadan as well. And like we always say, we look forward to our engagements with you right here on Salam Media.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and hold on tight to the rope.
We certainly will. We certainly will. Okay. All the best to you, Sister Yvonne. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Dr. Yvonne Ridley was us this afternoon, and with the Irish intervention in supporting South Africa with the ICJ case. which brings us straight to around 4:35. And when we come back, our focus is going to be on a mass iftar event that is taking place at the Kingsmead Stadium in Durban.